Hello everyone, so today I'll explain how we can find the control word. And so we are given the task with interfacing an 8255, which is a peripheral device, with 8086. And the first thing that we notice here is that it's given in the input-output port. So whenever we see that, the first thing that we need to do is to create this diagram, and the first thing when we see that is in input-output mode, we set B7 as 1. If it's in some other mode, let's say bit set reset, we initialize it as 0. So that is what I've written here. So B7 is 1 for input-output mode and 0 for BSR mode. BSR is bit set reset, which is the second mode. And then we need to initialize port A as output port. So we come over here, and B4 is the input-output function for port A, so we initialize that as 0 since it's mentioned that port A is an output port. And we go back to the question, we see that port B should be initialized as an input port, so we come here, and this port over here is where we need to update. So since it's mentioned that it's in input mode, we enter 1, and then we go back to the question, we see that port C is in output port. So when we see that port C is an output port, we go back to the diagram, and port C should be given as 0, right? So port C is set to 0. So port C is set to 0 over here. This is function for port C upper, and this is function for port C lower. So both of them will be assigned with 0. So another couple of points to keep in mind. Since it's mentioned that this is in input-output mode, we go to B6 and B5, which are the bits for port A, and we initialize them with 0 and 0. And then the same thing applies to B, so these two ports over here. Since it's in input mode, we initialize B3 and B2 as 0. And yeah, so that's how we fill in the control word. So a couple of important points to keep in mind. So we go back to the question. So here in this question is given as input-output port, but another possibility is BSR, which is bit set reset mode. So if it's mentioned as bit set reset mode, the thing that we should do is change this 1 in B7 to 0. So that's what we have to do in case they mention that it's in BSR mode. Yeah, I think that's all that we have to to keep in mind while solving this type of question. So hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.